folks. I am Sean. Welcome back to Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. You can't see this. I'm not a corporate sellout yet. I am, because I'm sponsored by Coors Light and Molson Canadian. Breakfast of Champions. We're wearing our KISS shirts. So, Blake, when we stopped there, you were telling us about your band. When you guys started, you had mentioned you had played with some other bands and got on some shows. So, give us an example of what that might have looked like.
Well, we initially I joined the band in the spring of 2018. They formed in 2017, and we started playing some local gigs just to kind of get my feet wet. And then we started working with a booking agency, TKO Booking. We worked with Andrew over at TKO, and we immediately hit the road that early 2019 and started doing some dates with Buck Cherry. In that year, we also got some dates with Kicks. Who else did we do? Man, that was 3 years ago. Wow. But we did Kicks, Faster Pussycat. Who else off the top of my head? Man, you put me on the spot. Kicks, Faster Pussycat. Who else? We did some stuff with Danny Worsnop. We got a song, Mother Lover, with him. We did some of his stuff with his solo band. And that's all that comes to mind right now. There's so many more, but I'm totally blanking out right now. But it's really cool to play with some of those, 80s, some of those iconic 80s rock bands, because I mean, they're following likes our music. I mean, our music is nostalgic. It is. A lot of people like to label it 80s rock, while I personally don't like to label anything. I just call it rock and roll music, because why does it need a further label than that? But it's really cool playing with some of those bands, because we've picked up a lot of fans doing that.
When you mention those bands, it's funny. I mean, this is the music, man, that was dead. It was gone. It was never coming back. It takes a little hiatus. There was a little bit of a hiccup there in the 90s, but all of a sudden, you get the Monsters of Rock cruise. You have all these festivals that are taking place. You have a station that's dedicated on Sirius to this genre of music. What is it about this music that you think keeps people coming back to it?
It's good. It's fun. It's happy. It's positive. It's uplifting. It's encouraging. And it's catchy. Dude, the music makes you feel like you just did drugs, man. Like, it's fun. Like, we all got that song, that rock song. No matter what you're doing, you turn it on, you're in the car, you're wherever you're at, and you put it on, and boom, you immediately go from here to here. Like, and a lot of 80s rock, 70s rock, classic rock, if you will, that's music that makes you feel like that.
Yeah, and the thing that I love about the music, and a lot of people, it doesn't get its just due in terms of players. I mean, the people playing that music were uberly talented, crazy talented, and because of the look, I guess they might not have, been getting their fair shake. But at the same time, man, you're not painting a Picasso, right? You're writing songs about having fun and kind of, trying to stay on the upside of life.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Again, just making music that people want to listen to, that brings them up, that we know is going to impact them in like a fun way. But sad songs out there, we're just not writing them for you. Sorry.
Well, and I mean, I can sense that you're loving what you're doing, and it's great that you guys didn't kind of pull the plug, because so many other bands did. What's on the go for you guys coming up? I mean, you were talking about some of the stuff you were doing beforehand, but if you've got a booking agent, you guys must have some plans other than recording it. You got to be getting it back out there and getting in front of some people.
Well, right now it's too soon to talk about publicly what we're working on, because there's nothing set in stone. Well, totally concrete. There's a lot of plans, but I can't talk much about that right now. But what I can talk about is that, we're going about what we were saying in the first segment. COVID allowed us to sit down and write some songs when we're not sitting down and rocking out and gigging and touring and stuff like that. So we have a lot of new material, and we're going to be going to the studio soon to record it. And put it out. Like, these are some really great bangers. Like, we have some really fun music, and I, for one, am very, very excited to actually go lay them down. We work with JP Audio Labs in Bunker Hill, North Carolina, a world-class recording studio. Our friend Joe and Sean, they take care of us. Every professional studio recording you've heard of us, not just a phone recording on YouTube, but all the professional studio recordings done at JP Audio Labs in Bunker Hill, North Carolina. And that's where we're going to be recording our new music soon too. I'm very excited about it. We all are.
So without giving up too many, secrets, because, I play too. I'm currently recording some stuff.
Hey,
You do it live off the floor. You go in separately. How do you guys put this all together?
so some stuff we track each thing individually. Sometimes we'll record bass and drums live, but that's the extent of the live recording. At that point, we'll track guitars and vocals. What's crazy is that I've never seen a vocalist just go in the studio and like one or two take everything, every harmony. If you listen to what we have out right now, Colt's the only guy singing on the records, and he'll go in there and do every single harmony in like one take. This dude just goes in there and means business. It's really impressive.
Well, there's something to be said for being prepared, because a lot of people don't understand recording's hard work, man. And there's nothing quite, I guess, as humbling as not being prepared and listening to yourself on a playback when you're not prepared.
Oh, dude. Oh man, you're telling me, dude. When I first started doing this thing 10 years ago, I remember the first time I recorded a song. At that point, 10 years ago, I was like, I suck. That sucks. This ain't it. And so, yeah, recording, especially if you're new to it, will really broaden your horizons, so to speak.
Fair enough. So you and I are both wearing Kiss shirts. I got into a little thread that actually Eddie Trunk got involved in there a couple of weeks ago. A thing came out where Kiss was playing in Belgium. Eric Singer messed something up. The track was exposed. And I'm sitting there going, okay, this is not new. Bands have been using backing tracks for years. It's not 1992 where it was a new thing. It's 2022. What are your thoughts on that? Some people are so opposed to it. Some people don't care. I tend to sort of hover in the middle because it takes talent to be able to play with backing tracks. But what's your thoughts on that?
So I will say, for a band to do what they've done for 50 years is impressive. And not only is it impressive, it is incredibly difficult. But not only is it incredibly difficult, it is, and there's not a word to describe the extent of this, taxing on one's body physically. I know Paul Stanley has had probably over a dozen vocal surgeries in even the last 10, 15 years. As far as the backing tracks, anyone that's following the stuff knows that they're sometimes used and they're also sometimes not used. I don't know what it must feel like as a human being to be on top of the mountain and everyone, being the golden standard, and your body just can't keep up. Mm-hmm. I imagine that must be incredibly just emotionally difficult to deal with. And so, at 70 something years old and doing this for 50 years at this point, I'll be 50 next year. To be doing this for 50 years is impressive. I don't know to the extent, because I don't really do deep dives on it, because I just don't really care. It's Kiss.
Yep.
They wrote music that inspired me to pursue a career in music. So maybe, Paul Stanley comes out and uses this track or whatever for this song so we can get some vocal rest for the next song. I don't know. I think that the reason why everyone's giving them hell for it is because in the last 10 years, they have been very outspoken about other bands using backing tracks. And so that's kind of the irony of the situation. They're like, no backing tracks ever. And then they have a backing track fail, a little flub, a little hiccup, a little mishap. And then, well, maybe you shouldn't have gone out and said all these things if you too were willing to use them. I don't know. I, for one, don't really care if anyone's deserved the right to let off the gas a little bit, so to speak. It's definitely them, because for 50 years, they never let off the gas in any way.
And it's not like, there was a video on Blabbermouth a couple of months ago where there was a band playing the Whiskey a Go-Go where everything was on a track. The drums, the guitar, they all walked away from their microphones, and the tunes were still going. That's a little bit much. But I mean, at the end of the day, if people are paying big money to see a band, I think they want to see the songs done as close to what they're used to as possible. That's just my 2 cents.
I would definitely agree with you. Again, we're finite. The body, it ages. Your voice is a muscle. It's an instrument, but it's also a muscle. And after all, we are slaves to our biology. You can't escape the inevitable aging process, and to sing those songs I can't even sing those songs like that, but let alone to do it for 50 years. I think they've earned the right to do this thing the way that they see fit and to deliver the experience that they intend to deliver. Whether or not you agree with it, the performance is astounding. And it's not all lip synced. Just the fact that Eric Singer, quote unquote, messed up a drum fill is another testament to the fact that no, they're not just miming it. They're still playing a rock and roll show. They're probably just doing what they can to keep going. And that doesn't rub me the wrong way in the slightest.
No, I'd agree with that. So you guys are going, there's not a lot you can talk about publicly. Have any shows upcoming?
Yeah, shows upcoming local in the area. We're playing a pro wrestling event July 23rd in a little town called Greer, South Carolina. It's about an hour south of Charlotte, for the American Wrestling League. It's going to be awesome. Some of the sections have sold out. So if you're in that area, check it out. American Wrestling League, Welford Pavilion, July 23rd. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be wrestling. People are going to be professionally beating the shit out of each other. I'm going to rocking your socks off while you watch it.
So where can my peeps find out more about Testarossa? How are we going to find you guys? Where do they go looking? How do they get in touch with you guys?
First and foremost, an easy way to get connected with everything. Just Google search Testarossa Band. If you just search Testarossa, you'll get the Ferrari. Apple Music, Spotify, definitely. That's where we upload in high resolution audio. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that at Testarossa Rocks.
Awesome. Blake Webb, it's been a pleasure meeting you, sir.
My man, fellow Kiss Army enlistee.
Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on you. We're gonna follow up with you again, see how you're doing. My brother, thanks so much for doing this.
Hey, thanks, Sean, for having me. We appreciate you. And to all the listeners out there, let's rock and roll one time.
Peace.